This is about my dog, who isn't with me anymore. Well, he is. He sits on the sideboard at home, but he's not with us in reality. Just a little box with ash in it. Ah, isn't that nice? Anyway, dreaming, my dog gives noiseless barks, tongue-tip licks, tail flicks, legs rhythmically twitch. I guess he's chasing rabbits or sticks or cats, but it's only a guess. Would he ever understand why in bed I toss and turn at night, grunt and gurn as I wriggle, wave my hands? Would he guess I fight extraterrestrial beasts, hack through forests, saving damsels, explore, right wrongs, make love at bacchanalian feasts, write songs, poems, and nightly soar over mountains on fiery feathered birds, invent new languages, religions, words? Of course, it is possible that he actually dreams the same things as me, and he can only guess that my dreams consist of chasing rabbits or cats or sticks.
Bravo.
I am not one of life's optimists. However, I'll read this one. Mornings. Some days when I wake, I am surprised the world is still here and I am still in it. Things have not changed as much as I thought. People have stayed much the same, but not me. Whatever took place overnight has left me feeling an outsider, and I am never sure I want to be let back in. Some days the feeling actually wears off. And this is a sort of sad one, but it's about reality. Train spotting. Wallet, watch, wedding ring, ballpoint pen, neat coin towers divided by denominations, line his bedside shelf, precisely placed. No notes. A mile away, looking straight ahead, he walks, steadfast between the rails, no turning, looking back until noise engulfs him. Too late. The policeman picks and packs the pieces. The driver tries to piece his life together. The family find no explanation, no peace of mind. None of them forget. Did he think of that in his careful plan or not?
So I'm going to start off with a new poem, and it's called Progress. This city lost another street today. A baker threw his thumbprints to birds. Legs of lamb were walked to a skip. This street was named after a watchmaker. His hand stroked the bell tower's face. Pigeons swoop for burgers there. In hoard-out squares of sponsored flowers, baskets sway like cheap earrings, yet pigeons trade their emerald necks. So yeah, this is a very contemporary collection of war poetry, exploring the stoicism of men generally that internalise themselves in a little pub in Southam where this soldier's parents are. And I was going to read a poem here called War Envelopes. Fists of yellow fog ploughed new fields of half-bent knolls. The trampled tongues of numb flowers hung with soldiers' breath. Meadows wobble in sour heat, like cenotaph mouths in bugles. The violent chrysalis unfurls the eyes to flightless wings of sleep. War makes poems of men, showing, not telling, what a trigger does to flesh is autumn to trees. The memoirs of soldiers' eyes are caves bats hang from, wings glued shut like telegram envelopes, telling loved ones through percussion letterboxes that war's last march crawls down a face of hands. So I hear a lot of politicians talking about disadvantaged areas, and there was one in Fossil a few years ago expressing his glee at being in Fossil, a disadvantaged area, and a Sikh put him right, saying that he buys his fruit from his brother and that his mother lives with him upstairs in the top room. So this is called the disadvantaged area. There are 29 fruits at Jaspel's, weighed by hands of henna and lace. The old woman never says thank you. Her father sleeps in the biggest room. There are 3 generations at Jaspel's. There were 2 men from uptown fighting. Vote red for change, vote blue for change. This disadvantaged area is our priority. There were 14 spices in the air, Sikhs buying fruit from Hindus. If you want a macchiato, take a bus uptown, past church, Gurdwara, mosque and park. Get off by the nursing home by Costa. There are 3 of them to choose from, near Orange, where Gaz got jumped for an iPad. When the soldiers come back from Afghanistan in 2014, the men and women that have lost their legs will be given prosthetic limbs. And this is a poem called The Lions, the Fawns and the Wardrobes. Here come the sons of Adam, half-human fawns, conjoined to bones of a bagpipe's lament. Here come the fathers of war, heads bowed with bucket flowers, amputated like benefits. Here come 3 lions roaring on cloth, laid to rest on a stone table, squeaking on rope in a Whitehall Narnia. Here come the true flags, furred clothes, wearing wardrobes, the last battle lost. Here come the godless hymns, a lifetime of 2-minute silences, trumpets turning fawns to stone. And this is a poem called Logo, which is my sort of anti-capitalism sort of poem. In the twice murdered park, they cordoned off frost. Diggers stabbed the paddling pool. In hypodermic dew, tarmac clung to a seesaw, a robin blooded the bough. Come April, where blossom used to fall, we'll drink cappuccino, get caught in moments like carrier bags on bus-level trees. Come April, we can queue outside Primark. I'll buy me a new me on the playground I discovered myself. Come March, I shall walk to the swings, push the seat where fathers made childhoods and gob the way Darren did. Come March, I'll peel paint from the carousel, reveal the name of a lay teacher who necked wine and a teenage tongue. Come March, sky is Logo. It's called Forgiveness. Courage left you today, your husband for so long. My wife is now memories. I am married to mirrors of regret. Forgive me for my weakness. The times you walked on your own, asking in laptop grey, I ignored you for a client who always spelled my name wrong. Forgive me for my ignorance. The day of the envelope when you were different, by being too much the same to me, for I was indifferent to you. Forgive me for my blindness. The day you lit candles at noon, stood naked next to them, and asked me if you were beautiful, saying my full name. Forgive me for shaking. The day you told me was a Sunday. Later you said you had waited for a frost, just like the first walk we ever took, when there was bonfire and love in my eyes. Forgive me for hating you. The day you lost your hair, refusing to wear a headscarf, choosing to wear the elements, the wind, the rain, and when we kissed, a smile. Forgive me for loving you too much. The days I stayed with you till the end, noticed everything I hadn't done, except for the one thing you wanted, to dance with you to Yared. You went in my arms from the flute's first breath. I'll never forgive you for that. Thank you.
This is about a friend of mine called Malcolm Swain, who until lately was a bricklayer around here. He's retired now. This is called Malky's War. Laughing loony lardy ladies, dance around your handbags, not now or evermore. The artisan of Orsley village obeys a stronger call. Symmetry of excellence from weather-gentle hands. Lines in ages, turning pages of history withstands. Beauty of a certain kind, like the lines of great design. See it in Defender Strat, or the grey town's claim to fame. The mobile streamline, beautiful brown lane, very own great cat. This is what it all boils down to, work that stays the same. When all of us have long since gone, Malky's War remains. This one's called A Few Years From Now. A few years from now, did you picture me somehow, leaning on a counter full of dreary small-town Ireland, with a pint of Guinness and paddy chaser, arms around a stranger, bleary-eyed and maudlin, slurring through a half-known ballad, but maybe instead I'd have sighed as I watched you fly. You once said to me, it's okay just to be. Who knows? I'm going to finish off now, you'll be pleased to hear, with a poem that's about, because I'm moving house soon, and this is to do with places that have meant a bit to me in the past. It's called Vignettes. Riding on the Dolmus shot to Quebec through Feralia and Juva, I look at the gentle, smiling faces and think of you, how you would have been enchanted by the view, and the visit to Attila's for tahini and sage tea, and up into the hills in the arid heat, little Dolmish winds its way, each and every day, up this mountain road where I stand alone, incomplete. Subtle stickleback, Stolangtoff, Suffolk West, across the bridge of childhood rests. Old rooks rise above the elms and sheepy droves. Memories of lucky dips from George Tuck's sweet shop, long since gone, and Auntie Peg's flint cottage, standing so forlorn. Gentle lanes lead me on to figments of my boyhood dreams, the orchard where I tempted fate in a derelict, deserted Morrisate, and watched the keeper with his gun, where pigeons fell, crimson blood-chested. At the time it seemed so much fun. Now these dreams all seem to diminish the man I have since become. Beautiful country, island of dreams, my home in the Comoros, mist-softening fields, turf-fired evenings by Man's Strand, kittiwake soaring, holding your hand. My sense of belonging at last is instilled, my own Anam Cara at peace and fulfilled. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Diana, and when I heard about this evening, I thought, well, there's one I've really got to start with because I wrote it last year for May Day. I was trying to entice someone I'd spoken to on the internet to come down. I'd been talking to him for 2 months, and this seemed to be the ideal thing that might attract him. So I've called it A Day Out in May. It was the Morris dancers that set him off. I only mentioned it in passing between the cupcakes and the market stalls that would be set up in May. It didn't occur to me that this lovely man, placid in nature and fair of face, would want to run. Messages on the screens are never the same as our spoken words convey out loud. And if I tried, my words would falter. I'd hesitate for longer until it would be me who'd want to hide. I deliberately wrote Morris dance as an entertainment, thinking he might say, "Ha ha, say you admit they are not entertaining." And I'd say, "They are to me. I'm crazy like that." You know I'm crazy, don't you? I'm looking for happiness. And if while having fun, I find the one, it's a bonus. We're just two fishes swimming in ever-decreasing circles to find a purpose, or even a porpoise, to obtain a prize. He didn't come, but I've seen him 4 times since. And he nearly came today, but never mind. For this one, I'm going back to 2009, and I've called it My Summer. And it was the 3rd time I'd been to Turkey and the same place, but it was quite a special year for me. They set out the title as many times before in school when I was young. What did you do in the holidays? How can I explain that I still move, that I am back on his boat, the Yamur, that I am still swaying? How can I explain the stars, the moon, the warmth of day in the evening, as now it is cold, even in the day? There are no stars in the sky. Between here and there, someone flicked a switch, and my summer ended. But back I went. It's an addiction, and I return again and again. This year, as always, I came to find the sun and Yamur, the rain. I found rain, real wet rain. I was sitting, chatting as I always do. People are so friendly here. When I felt snowdrops, not small ones, but large ones that sent me scurrying inside while waiters pulled cloths from tables, cushions from chairs. They told me there had been no rain this month, but now thunder and lightning, and what was once a gathering of larger raindrops became a puddle. Inside, I sat with others, made friends, stopped for lunch, watched waiters with brooms sweep water from paths, disperse the puddle into pebbles, collect debris from trees and put into sacks. The rain, relentless, kept us inside, and at each attempt to leave, we changed our mind till finally, or we would have stayed all day, we paid and departed from there and from each other. I went in search of old friends. I took apple tea, as is the custom when friends meet. And later, still, the exchange rate being better here in England, I visited and then left to the post office, 1 lira short. I don't make a fuss. And at the next restaurant where I go to escape more rain, I sit and write. I wrote here last year while waiters bought me drinks each morning. But this year, with waiters young and new, I gave my order twice and they walked away bewildered. After 2 more attempts, I asked for a menu, got my drink, had a chat. He'll remember me next time, next year, if he's there. I took a walk when the rain stopped. It came again, but without shelter I walked on further this year. Each time I come, I explore further. I like my walks. I like the rain, the Yamur. I'll come again. I actually spent the following year, I spent 6 weeks in Turkey, and this just is what happened on week 2. I fell out of a hammock. My bruises, misinterpreted, indicate to my lover that I have been with another man. He doesn't tell me this himself, but tells a friend who passes the information on. Confidential, I must not tell. There are people everywhere who report back, I expect, on my every move, no matter how careful, or depending on my mood, how indiscreet I happen to be. This friend tells me in confidence that my lover's other woman is here. I wanted to say just the one, and I pretend not to care. It's lust, and it's easy to spot. It's in his eyes when he first sees me. It's always a surprise, unless the spies tell him first and he knocks on my door. He has a saying, I fall in love on the day of transfer. I like this, loving me on the day I leave, leaving him free to lust after new arrivals. And finally, this is about a dream. You know what it's like when you've just woken up and you realise you've been dreaming and you want to hold on to the dream and you're scrabbling around trying to grab the bits of dream that are floating away. It's like that with you. I'm desperately holding on to the little memories I have. It's not easy. There's only a little of you left. I think of your pale skin and your blue eyes and what looked like very pale freckles on the side of your face. Your hair, which is long and blonde, felt like silken straw, and I can remember what it was like to touch. It was 4 when I went to bed and tried to sleep. I'd stayed up late watching a repeat on TV. Anything to distract me from thinking about why I was here and you were there. None of it made any sense. If I'd known then that I'd be dreaming of you, then I wouldn't have waited. Those familiar figures on TV wouldn't have minded me not being there. I woke at 8. It was too soon, and I realised I wanted to be back in the dream that was fading away. And as I do every morning when I awake, I logged on, wanting to see if he'd left me a message. But there was nothing there, only the usual space for me to write in. And as always, I spoke as if you were waiting, like me, to hear words come tumbling out. Those of you familiar with this type of communication will know what I mean when I say I heard a popping sound. I so wanted it to be you. Sending a reply or saying anything, even nonsense, would be better than nothing. But it was other people wishing me good morning, wondering why I was awake when they too thought I should still be asleep. And I wanted to write before I forgot my dream, before it faded like you faded in front of me, away from me. After I'd written a few words, I checked my horoscope. It said my admirer had surprised me. So when did that happen? Perhaps it was in the dream. Well, it must have been in the part I'd forgotten, some surprise. I want a surprise where the doorbell rings, or when I answer the phone and you're there unexpectedly. But when I heard a ring, it was Simone, and she wanted me to listen, and I do what I always do. And for a while, my mind was distracted. For an hour, I listened to her, talking, and this is what she needed. They do say, if everyone puts their problems on the table for anyone to take, we would all reach out and take back our own. I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm just saying this is how it is. I rather like this fleeting dream. For me, meeting you is the best thing I've ever accomplished. The dream was just a reminder that we were together once, and your words, though few, and today is yet not come, tell me you've not forgotten. Thank you.
This one's called Rain That Bled a Spiral. Crazy razor hazy, nascent nights, soporific sights, latent lights, flights of fancy, brains run over clouds, so tread and trip on the tangent. Crying for the fools, cruel eyes, surreptitious smiles, wicked wiles. Nonsense rhyme, anchored by time, grabbing moons, fleecing sheep, monetary bo peep. Lucid sleep, folding stuff creeps. Expanded third eye, pages torn, all forlorn, deaf to the cries of death. Slain for the ears of corn. Incisive tongue that bleeds words and mumbles, lying, crying, buying, outlying, flying, shy left outside, cold, growing old. Dreams spill and unfold, pavement swept free of gold. Hopes and aspirations sold, washed away by a rainbow's tear. Liquid vials, vile liquid, leather serpent coils its tail to strangle veins, steel fangs spit out venomous tales, told in vain. Vanquished senses act for the insane, battered innocence, clouded by stains, ripped ruddy canvas, stacked up pains, wheels fly off, roll and tumble up that hill. A bitter pill with a worn-out will required to swallow. Bet to make your will as the blood spills and flows up that hill. A shrouded wish to fill bouncing bones with an endless kill. Blown out minds that left tiny eye of the needle views. A false, glittering landscape, dreamscape to escape under cracked ideas. Papered over with crepe and nightmares from crap. Twist your fears, your tears. A descending end, spinning in the whistles of the winding wind. Thank you. And this is a love poem called Time Slip. 20 seconds the difference, might as well have been 20 years. Enough time to blow a kiss, then a sigh. A snapshot, shut window apart. I still see you now, although you never see me. Around the corner, then you're gone. I start and then bolt to chase the running sky. Lightning sears my view. You reach out as you melt through the clouds. Now you're gone. I finally find you. My heart, my hurt, bursts like crimson raindrops upon the sun. You lie in my arms, wisp through my fingers, hair bubbles pricked by the cold, feathers in flight, a pertinent plight, ever move in sight, rainbows browned by the soil. Shooting stars sleep in my burning hands, fleshy flags oystered within whistling bone branches. Autumn's chameleons around us now fall, burnished like cinders, turn to dust motes, dancing in the wild wind's inevitable call. Intangible reality bashes me into consciousness, bulldozes my senses so I cannot sleep. My mind a psychic china shop, I fly in hopes and dreams, smashed in mid-air trance. Chased by shadows of memories, ghosts of what if, maybe and a glance. The stars within my personal sky flicker out like candles, one by one they die. Time and space may bend, but maybe not our hour. Einstein's laws, surely meant to be broken, to restore and break, make amends, along with this broken heart. So I keep running in the hope of finding you, of catching you from falling, of saving you, of holding you, you, my love. And just getting to some of a bit nature and cosmic. I was sort of a weird poem. I still haven't really got to the roots of this one. No pun intended. It's called The Methuselah Tree. One is here, one is the tree. Now I'm here, here I'm free, free to roam, free to float in time. Spread my soul and see through my deep roots. Fingers as dancing leaves weave tangled sins. Wrapped green silk hides within my pithy within. Cogent bark, wizened visage and wrinkled skin, my twisted torso at one with cosmic kin, knotted parchment, notwithstanding my thoughts, exultant boughs bow to esoteric stars as the astral canopy mops my brow. Rising sap, my soaring spirits leap to fly, raise my branches, my arms to the sun, yanking the yawning yet thundery sky. Here, now, and why? Etching the sleepy sunset, gold god lays his head on, flashing the pan clouds, dendritic lightning laid to rest. Here, now, and why? A menagerie's palette of rustic dreams echo as life paints and splashes screams, as then and now a sea drops by my feet. Swallowed by suckling soil, it digests its birth, and so one cycle encircles soul earth. Thank you. And finally, to finish on this one, this is one that's quite personal to me. It's something I wrote with the charity Mind in mind, and it's called The Lucid Door. From a tunnel in shadow, my hands clap out my mind's thunderclap. Thoughts bursting to make a sound, surrounded by people yet all alone. The wilderness wounds and taunts the soul, a mocking wasteland of memories, and a crumbled path of yesterdays. Plucking the cinders, screeching at the runes, clutching at the wind, reaching for the moon. Celine keeps stepping away, nailing transparency upon the wall. Melancholy sticks to my brain, my tongue so sharp in anticipation. I wish it would cut my throat. Save my voice, my manic laughter absorbed, bounces around this saddened room, a soundproof womb, a rain-sodden catacomb, my pensive tomb, please bury the gloom. And in the corner sits my torn-off pile of smiles. Breathe a while through crushing guile, a teary crocodile pukes hollow sounds from a funnel in shadow. My sleepy sozzled pickle cabbage awakes within its cranial cage, raging yet sighing, springs into step, punching the darkness to bruise the night, shatter the pain so that it drips sunlight. Drown my drawn stark demons in truth, my doubts stampede in fright and trample the lives that lie dying in visionary light. A light that swipes at the days, a light that wipes out the days in shadow, shut out by the lucid door.